Hey, moviegoers, how are you? Another episode of KDM, which stands for Kit Bowen. Hey, Kit.
Hi.
The D for Dimitri and M movies. So in this episode, this might hurt just a bit, or maybe
Or
not.
not.
Or, well, as the dentist always says, you're gonna feel a pinch.
A
And
pinch.
then you'll go a pinch.
Oh, I
And
hate
then you'll
that.
go numb from
Oh.
the NOVOCAINE. We are talking NOVOCAINE. Jack Quaid, who's had two movies within the span of 2 months, like sort of kind of, right?
hmm
Companion came out in what, January, maybe February, and now is NOVOCAINE. Um, a bloody action mayhem fight fisticuffs,
Romance.
some romance thrown in there, 10 minutes worth of romance, they say. And it's just bedlam and chaos, or chaos and bedlam. Lots of blood, but for a rollicking good time, as I like to always do, I always defer to ladies first.
All
Kit, you
right.
saw Noah Kane last night. What did
I
you think?
did. I had a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun. I mean, the premise is that Jack Quaid, who is a Nepo baby, he is the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, which we've mentioned, I'm sure, before. But now he's pretty much in his own right, not having to ride on those coattails, having done Boys and a few other things, as well as Companion, which we both enjoyed. So the premise here is that he plays sort of a mild-mannered bank manager, assistant manager, who kind of has a little bit of an infatuation or crush on the new hire, which is played by, oh shoot, I should have had this up.
Amber, um,
Amber
hold
Mid
on,
Mid Thunder.
Mid
Amber,
Thunder,
yeah,
Amber Mid Thunder.
yeah. She plays Sherry. He plays Nate. Anyway, she finally kind of pushes him into going out on a date, and he does, and you come to find out that
And
he has some
and
sort of a disease. Wait,
yeah, and we'll talk about, well, before we get into, this is going to be very spoilerific. I didn't want to,
yes,
sorry to interrupt you. Just in case you were about to let out a spoiler, um,
I'm not letting out
and
a spoiler right now.
yeah, just in case, we
But
are
yes,
a
we are going to
spoiler, so
spoil.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Um, but he has I'm assuming this is actually a real disease because it seemed
it
pretty
is.
specific,
It It is a real disease. I looked it up actually.
where
And
he cannot feel pain. He can't feel his nerve endings or whatever are affected by this. What's it called? What's the name of the disease?
it's SIPA, and it's
CPAP.
congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis, which means on top of not being able to feel physical pain in his body, he can't discern between hot or cold either. So that leads to he's unable to eat solid food.
Where he doesn't want
Either,
to eat solid food because he's afraid he
yes,
might bite his tongue
right, his tongue.
and that kind of thing. So anyway, so come to find out that he has this thing, and she's very intrigued and very cute, and they have a very cute little moment, love scene, and then he the next day he's like, "Hey, I feel like my whole world's changed. I'm now a new man," kind of thing. And then just when he's about ready to walk over to her and say, "I had the best night of my life," bank robbers come into the bank, and they are robbed, and Sherry is taken hostage, and so then he decides that that's it, he's going to go and try to save her. So that's the premise of the film, basically, and then it becomes sort of a chase and trying to find her kind of thing. But yeah, I had a really good time with it. Jack Quaid's very likable. He and sorry, Amber are very
Amber
cute together. I had to look her up, and she was the main actress in Prey,
and
which
Prey.
was
Yep.
sort of a Predator. It was a Predator prequel, like back
Yep.
in the 1800s. She was really good in that. I remember
Yes.
liking her a whole lot, and now of course she's
Uh-huh.
completely different, but very pretty, very her face is the camera loves her definitely. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so they had a very cute chemistry, but yes, a lot, a lot of of blood. I did
A
this a
lot
lot.
of blood.
Or I go, oh no, because he can't feel any pain and then all these horrible things happen to him. He burns
Yeah,
his
the torture
hand
and the nails
and
and
the
stuff.
nails, and he's like, oh, ouch, 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 because this guy's trying to torture him, and he's like, okay, I
Like,
got to pretend like I'm having pain, but like arrow through his legs and just beat up like there's no tomorrow. But he's scrappy. He's a scrappy fighter, man. He's got some ideas there. So he takes down a few bad guys, which was great to watch. I
yes.
said to you earlier that my one sort of complaint was the ending of it, where it was kind of one of those things where the bad guy, played again by another nepo baby, Ray Nicholson, Jack Nicholson's son, who looks just like him. I swear to God, he's just like almost
Certain scenes
spit
when
him
he
out, man.
smiles. Yeah.
Smiles, just was sort of his demeanor too, the way he sort of,
Yeah.
that kind of the crazy Jack kind of thing. Well, because he's playing kind of a bad crazy guy on this.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so the ending was a little. It's like, oh, he's still not dead. Oh, he's still not dead. It's one of those. Or could have cut out about two of those sort of fight sequences, I think, and it would have been a little cleaner. But really didn't take away too much. It was really pretty intriguing. I mean, intriguing. That's kind of the wrong word. It was engaging and fun and rollicking. And you like to see the fight scenes. And you were, what was the next thing that was going to happen to him? Where you're like, ouch, oh, ouch,
Yeah.
ouch, ouch,
Yeah.
ouch. So yeah, I did. I thought it was a very fun movie.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page. We're in agreement. I thought it was an extraordinarily fun movie. I liked it, I think, probably better than I had thought. I too have a nitpick. It's a little bit different than yours, but I understand what you're saying. It just kept on going. It was like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, it's like,
It just kept
how
going
is
and
this guy
going.
gonna die already? Jesus, the way he does die
Yeah,
is pretty horrific. Definitely
yes, it
keep
was
that
pretty
part. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
But I think number one, what I enjoyed is like the setup of the movie, the first 10, 15 minutes, the first act, more or less, is
yes,
like near perfect to me as a screenplay goes. Because it sets everything up and it sets it up in such a way like you have to get a lot of information out. You have to get out like what is his disability? What's he afflicted
right,
with? Then you have to set up this romance and you have to make the romance believable. You have
yes,
to make it extraordinary because they only have about 10 minutes to set this up.
right,
So in that regards, to me, it was set up very similarly to a romantic comedy, although I don't call this a romantic comedy, but
yeah,
it has the tropes of such, which is and they kind of turn that and until I call it the bump in.
yes,
When your romantic leads accidentally bump into each other and
yes,
usually papers fall all over the place and it's high or whatever. This one, it's a bump in the lounge in the break lounge, and she spells extraordinarily hot coffee on him. And it's funny
yep,
because she's concerned about his shirt,
yeah,
and he's concerned about the second-degree burns forming on his hand. But you go, okay, and then that leads to them having this lunch that was so charming and cute. Um, and he ordered a shake and she ordered like some cherry pie and she tries to offer him the pie. And that's where you learn even more. It's like, I can't
yes,
eat solid food, but yet he throws caution to the wind and tries it. It's like that again, the scene was so cute and charming. Like, that's pie. I love pie. Pie's
yeah,
great. Pie's awesome. And it
yeah,
right there, you go, okay, I'm buying this. And there was a line because they do actually have a date, and there was a line in which she said something to the effect of, we're all hiding something that we hope that someone special can find,
right, right,
something to that effect.
yep,
And again, I was like all in. I'm like, okay, this is perfect dialogue, perfect setup. we know if we've seen the trailers where this is going to go, but you need to hook your audience in. And I think the performances by the both of them, they're great on-screen chemistry together. The writing was right on, like right
Yeah.
so on in the setup, and then you're off to the races.
Yes.
And it was just such a good time. And to me, and I don't know if you felt this way, if you were thinking about this when you're watching it, right? We've been watching and talking about movies for a very long time, well before we even met. And we kind of know like how a movie's made, right?
Yeah.
So whenever there's a scene of torture or something, depending on the movie and depending how bad it is, like sometimes you might say it's only a movie, it's only a movie. Why do you say that? Because it's make believe. The actor is not getting hurt, but they have
Right.
to act they're getting hurt, right?
Right. Right.
In this movie, the joke is, okay, he's not really getting hurt. He's not really getting tortured, right? He's not
Right.
feeling pain.
Right.
So he has to, and it's a character that doesn't feel pain. And that's where the humor comes in because, like, oh man,
Yes.
that was the worst. Stop, stop. And
I
I
know. And he
thought
has to
that,
pretend.
yeah, and I thought he played it perfectly, perfectly. I bought the relationship. I didn't necessarily see the twist coming.
Yeah.
Um, because there is a twist in this movie, as much as it is a little bit of a detective story as well, because you got to try to find out where she is, and we kind of find out that Sherry is not exactly what she seems,
Right.
and I thought that was a clever twist, and they had enough smoke and mirrors like where I didn't see it necessarily coming. I'm like, oh, damn it. How are they going to get out of this one? Like, how are they
Yeah.
going to do that? And I
Yeah.
think also we have to talk about Jacob um, Batalon, who plays
Yeah.
Roscoe. Everybody knows him as Ned from the Spider-Man movies. And here is Roscoe. He is Nathan's video game pal.
Right.
Like they play a Dungeons and Dragons RPG type video game. They've
Yep.
never met in person, yet their friendship ends up being really good. Like Nathan has to rely on him, and he's like very reluctant to help him, but when he does, they meet, it's really funny. It's like, you're not 6'4". You said you're like 6'4", and you're
Well,
like, and
I mean,
yeah, I just found it really. I found
well,
their
that was
friendship.
probably
I
my
actually,
favorite. That was probably my favorite act of his fight scenes was in that house, which
oh my
was
God, that was great.
booby trapped. So basically, there's several people involved in the bank heist, in the bank robbery, including these two sort of brothers who were, I guess, special ops, black ops, whatever they were. They served, and
Right.
one of them is super paranoid about the government and everything, so he booby traps his house. So poor Jack Quaid, poor Nathan
Poor
comes in.
Nathan.
Nate comes in, and he's trying to find out who this guy is so he can find Sherry, and then he's just being bombarded by all these horrible things coming at him,
Horrible
like this.
things.
In the trailer, we really aren't giving this one away, but there's like this. What do you call those? Mace, I guess. What are
It's like
those
a
things called?
huge. But that's a
Spiked
huge
ball, a
maze.
big
Yeah,
metal spiked ball
it
that
almost
he steps
looked
on
like a
something and
mine.
he steps on something. We think, oh shit, it's gonna blow up, right? But he goes and he's like looking around. He goes and he kind of finally looks behind him. This thing's stuck in his back.
It's
He's
like,
like,
what
what
the
the
fuck?
hell? What is this? Yeah, that was my
Yeah,
favorite movies as far as fight scenes were concerned. Not in the one he
yeah, that
fights in
was
the
a good.
kitchen too. Those two were my favorite. But yeah,
Yeah,
the house just wouldn't quit bombarding him with horrible, painful things that he can't
yeah,
feel.
right. Yeah, I thought, and it was so clever, and it was what I really found clever about the direction and the script is that, they took this one trick pony,
Yeah,
right? Because how many times can you, but they made it fresh, interesting, and
they did.
entertaining. And by entertaining, I mean like it was humorous.
Yes.
And you could only pull that off with the right cast,
Hmm.
the right cast of people around you that get what they're doing.
Right.
And I just found that it really worked. And because you believe in the relationship at the beginning, it's a relationship you want to see prevail. Like you want to follow it
Right.
through.
Right.
So that's what really works in the movie. And I would even go as far as like saying, um, you know, even if stuff like this, like you think you're squeamish about, like
Right.
trust me, you're gonna get into the story. You're not gonna find it that bad. Like to me, when you look at the monkey as
Right.
compared to this, both are equally as bloody. If you
Yeah.
want to like break them down, right? The monkey is like that's gross, but in a different way. This
Right.
one,
Right.
they found the humor in the violence, I believe. Now, my nitpick is so on their date, he meets her at an art gallery and she's selling art and stuff. And we learn that because she's in on the bank job, let's say,
Yeah.
that they
That's the
move.
spoiler, guys.
Yeah, that's a spoiler. She's in on the bank job, and that they do that. They move from city to city to city every so many months, and I'm like,
Right.
well, how the hell did she like? How long have they been here? Like, where she could like be set up in an art gallery, start
Yep.
selling her art, be part of a therapy group and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that doesn't quite fit into like, I don't believe that's going to happen in 4 months.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
At the end of the day, I didn't care because the
Yeah.
rest of the movie was so enjoyable. And your nitpick is equally as valid because the movie
Yeah.
does go on and on.
Just
But
a little
regardless,
bit. Just a little bit. I
yeah,
mean,
just a
honestly,
little bit.
they didn't need to, continue on with that sort of idea that,
Hmm.
oh, that wasn't it. So let's try
Right,
this and just stick with
right,
that one like last part where, well,
right.
oh
Yeah,
my
do you
God,
wonder? Yeah,
ouch.
yeah.
That's what I said probably about 5,000 times.
See,
5,000 times. I went, ouch,
yeah,
or did
and,
this, or did this.
like the fight in
But
the
he's
tattoo
ingenious.
shop was good too.
Yeah.
That was a
Yes.
good one
I mean,
too.
here's the thing, guys. If you can't feel any pain and you really need to get some stuff done, or, you need to kick somebody's ass or whatever, use what you got, buddy. Put
Use
your
what you got, and,
fists in the glass and oh my gosh.
oh,
Oh
good.
my gosh. And then,
Yeah,
and then we do see him at the very end, like in a full body
it's
cast. I mean, like every part of his body is in a cast except for his head,
right.
which yeah, yeah. So anyway,
Yeah,
I thought it
and
was very cute.
what would you give it
And
out of
hi.
the five?
Oh, I'd
Stars?
probably give four and I like the half, I know. But I'd give it 4.5, just
Yeah, I
that
give it
that
4.
last little smidge off
Mhm.
for the ongoingness. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see Jack Quaid's career. I mean, he sells this, man. I don't think
he
it would have worked
does.
quite as well if he weren't playing the part because he just has that sort of quality to himself. Now, granted, he's kind of been playing these character type characters for a while now, which is, I'm a goofy doo. I mean, in The Boys, he does get a chance to do a little bit more,
Sure,
but that
absolutely.
still his character still like that. So, Jack, I know you got it in you, buddy. Let's see you play somebody evil, like
I see. I don't want him to play bad. No,
I do,
see. I
I
don't
do.
need
I
to
think
see.
it's
I
good.
don't.
It's good. It's good.
No, I don't
Okay,
need.
so let's
I
just
don't
say a
need to
little
see.
darker.
I don't need like evil, but there were. It's funny about what you said, like a couple of seconds ago, because there were a couple of times, especially when he screamed, whatever. I was like, it's Boimler. It's
Yeah.
Boimler from Lower Decks, and
Oh,
which is
right. I
fine.
forgot about lower decks.
Yeah, he's in Lower
Yes.
Decks. He's
Yes.
he's Boimler and he's great. And so it's I appreciate what you say, and I don't disagree. I hope Hollywood doesn't burn him out. I will
Yeah.
also give him this. he promotes the hell out of his projects. He
Yeah.
did it in the companion. He did it companion, and he for sure, even more so with Novocaine. He was everywhere on social media, and he had great videos, great
He's
stuff.
a funny guy. You can tell he's
He
a
is,
really funny guy.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's got the best of he's got the best of his parents in him for sure.
100%. And I did see that, and I did see that early Dennis Quaid charm, like
Yes,
circa inner
yes.
space,
Inner space.
dreamscape,
Yes.
breaking away. Like you see that charm in
Breaking
him.
away. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah, breaking
totally
away.
forgot about that movie for a second.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
such a good movie.
So
Wow.
it's a
And
fantastic
if you're from
movie.
Indiana, which my whole family is, many of
Yeah.
my family went to IU. So that was another sort of added benefit for that film for me. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. A good
Refund.
one. Yes.
Yep. So, um, yeah, like he definitely had like, especially in the 80s in those movies, there was a charm. That's why in great part Inner Space works.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid and Martin Short together, they were a great like pairing as far as like a movie pairing goes. But it
I
was because of
know.
like he has this smile and a charm that you just buy. And I see that in Jack Quaid a
Yeah.
lot, especially in this movie. And you
Yeah.
say darker, I mean, Companion, he is kind of the
Ah,
villain in
that's
Companion.
true. That's true.
In
That's very
Companion,
true. Yeah.
he's the villain in Scream.
Yeah.
He's Ghostface. He and
But he's still always playing that,
Mikey
yeah.
Madsen,
Yeah. Yeah.
they were the
Well,
Ghostface
anyway,
killers. So
it's true. So anyway, I would highly recommend going to see that this weekend if you
highly
have a
recommend.
chance to. And next week, I don't. Next week is a little slower too, but I think we've got one film that I keep seeing a trailer for that looks kind of good. Locked. Did you see the trailer for
Locked.
that?
No, I
Locked,
haven't seen the trailer.
like
No,
locked. It
no,
is.
I haven't seen that trailer.
It's another sort of contained thriller, sort of like Phone Booth, which I think is an
Oh,
underrated thriller in my opinion. It's Colin Farrell and he's stuck in the phone
uh-huh.
booth, and so
Yep.
this is similar to
Uh,
that. It's Bill Skarsgård who
Okay.
clearly can play. He always looks different in every one of his movies. Well, of course he's Pennywise, so you're gonna look different from that. But anyway, he breaks into a nice looking like SUV car, and it turns out
Oh,
to be
oh,
a
I did
cat and
see that.
mouse situation with
Yes, with
Anthony
Anthony
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see the trailer for that. In fact, I think I saw it on Novocaine.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Hence the reason
or
I'm bringing it up.
somewhere, or yeah, it was, I didn't see trailers on Novocaine. I saw the trailer on some movie that I saw within the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
I know we've got the
So
Snow White. I don't know if I want to see that or not. What do you think? Kind of don't want to see it, but maybe we should.
I mean, straight up, I mean, I want straight up, I wish Disney would abandon this live action thing. For me, it's
Yeah.
just starting to really not work.
Yep.
Um, you know, I like Rachel Zegler. I mean, there's been so much talk about this movie. It's not that I don't want to see it. I definitely want to see it to talk about it.
Hmm.
Snow White, the animated movie, just, I mean, it broke wide
Yeah.
open
And
animation.
I know, and
It
there's all
changed the
these people
history
who
of
are
film.
just
And
they're so mad that they've done this. I mean,
and if I
true Disney
listened,
files
I
love.
know.
Yeah.
And if I listened to those people, I would have never seen Little Mermaid, which I didn't hate. And I definitely, my dislikes of Little Mermaid weren't what the people were saying about Little Mermaid. In fact, I thought she was
You
a
mean when they had their resurgence? Like that was
when they did the live action Little
oh the live
Mermaid, they were
action
talking
one.
to,
Yeah,
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 I'm
yeah.
sorry, the live action Little Mermaid. People complained about that too, and
I didn't really like it though. I didn't
but
like
I
that
didn't
one
hate it,
either.
and I liked it more than
I didn't really like Beauty and the Beast either. Cinderella is
Beauty
really
and
the
the
only
Beast. I
one I
did
kind
not
of
like.
like.
I like Cinderella, and I didn't mind
But
Aladdin
I mean, that's
either.
an easy one to do, Cinderella. I mean, that's easy.
Yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know,
oh, and I didn't mind Jungle Book.
Oh yeah, Jungle Book
Jungle
was
Book was
okay.
pretty good too.
Yeah, yeah,
Aladdin I liked, but Cinderella is still my favorite. I think I was not a
yeah.
fan of Beauty and the Beast as you were, and I liked Little Mermaid a little bit more than I anticipated. It too, it flaws. It just I just wish they would get over this
Well, I
live
heard.
action thing.
I mean, like,
Hmm.
we'll end this here in a minute, but I did hear that the reason why they are doing that is because, like, to keep the licenses or something like that. Something to the effect that things would be expiring if they didn't continue the. I don't
It's
know. I'm not quite sure
possible.
how
I
that's
mean,
going.
it's possible that, and because they think that they're going to make a ton of money. So Snow White, I kind of want to see. But I think to see it is to talk about it and to
Yeah,
have good, healthy discussion about it, just like we just on Novocaine.
yeah.
And we both really like Novocaine. Novocaine is a really good time at the movies. Do not worry about being too squeamish. If you're thinking, like, again, just look at it as them making a movie. It's like they're not really getting hurt. So how's he going to pretend not to be hurt when he doesn't feel it anyways? And I would think of a movie like The Marathon Man, right? And when Dustin Hoffman, like, is it safe? Okay. You know, while they're making it, you know that Laurence Olivier is not digging into him with that needle, that hook, right? What sells it? Laurence Olivier sells it, and Dustin Hoffman sells
You
it.
have to.
You have to, right?
It's
But
one
that's what
of.
makes you
I
cringe.
would say. I would say. Well, for cinephiles, certainly. I mean, not everyone has seen Marathon Man. Unfortunately, but I would say for most people who love movies and have seen movies, that is probably one of the most horrifying sequences
A
because
hundred
so many
percent.
people hate Dennis and just
Right.
oh,
Sure.
oh, oh,
But
no,
you know that
no,
Dustin
no.
Hoffman is not really getting hurt. So,
Nobody makes it. He sells it.
so they have to sell it. So if Dustin Hoffman was a character that didn't feel pain and the other people and Laurence Olivier didn't know about it, you'd have to be going, it's all. So Jack Quaid sells it the way he should
He
sell
does.
it, and it
He
makes it
does.
humorous instead
Yeah.
of like you're looking at it, it's like, oh, that's gross, but they make it entertaining and humorous. You don't want to see a
Yep.
person get tortured, but with
No.
Jack
And this
Quaid's
was a fun
disability,
torture. First time you'll ever watch a torture scene that's actually fun. You're still going,
right?
oh, ouch, ouch. But yeah.
Yeah, it's so sort of kind of like watching this show. So
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Let us know what you
thank you.
thought about
Of
Novocaine as
Novocaine,
well.
yes,
Yes.
please do
And
in
we
the
will
comments
return with Locked,
very
maybe,
soon.
or maybe Snow White. I don't know.
Locked is a good one, and Snow White definitely. I think we should
Yeah,
just to
I
do it.
know. Okay.
I know. Maybe we should see it together. That would be fun.
Okay, we can figure that out. All righty.
Whistle, could whistle while we work.
Yes,
There you go.
everyone.
So
Take
folks,
care.
have a great
Yeah.
weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Take
And
care,
we'll talk
everyone.
to you
Bye bye.
later. See you at the bye.